my friends, this is Sal Montes and welcome back to my channel. Now, a little while ago, I made a reaction for the new PWHL logos and names that were released. It was kind of a mixed reaction when they first came out, including from myself, but over time they've kind of grown on me. I don't know, having picked Toronto as my team, maybe Torch was so bad that Sceptres just seemed so much better in comparison. But today is the day I have been waiting for with most excitement, and that's because we finally got our jerseys. As someone who was kind of obsessed with sports jerseys, I was very disappointed with the designs that they came out with last year for the first season. But I get it, establishing a new professional sports league in about 6 months was a huge undertaking, so of course there were going to be a couple misses. I have not seen these yet because I wanted to record so I can catch my genuine reaction to these, but yeah, I'm just so excited, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're on the PWHL Twitter account where we have some teasers from yesterday, but if we scroll up, let's see, and there they are! Okay, so let's start with the home jerseys. Alright, so we're gonna start with the Boston Fleet, and here we have Aaron Frankel, who could have easily been Finals MVP for Boston last season. And let's check out this jersey. So we have the front logo, which I do like. It kind of runs the risk of being a little too minimalistic, but the weight details really bring it to life, as well as the anchor. We have the same sort of Boston green that we got from last year's jerseys, but what I am noticing right away is that we get this sort of teal, sort of light bluish green color in the shoulders and in the striping. Oh, and as well as the numbers, I just realized, this color, it jumps out immediately. I don't know if it's necessarily the best part or the best addition to this jersey straight away, but it is interesting, and it's nice that they're adding at least another bit of color to this. We have 3 sets of striping down the sleeves, as well as 3 sets of striping down at the bottom. I don't know about y'all, it does kind of remind me of waves and the water in some sense, so that's kind of nice that it ties back into the Fleet theme. But yeah, overall I think I like it. This color might get a little bit getting used to. It kind of reminds me of the New York colors, so we'll see how those jerseys look. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next up, the reigning PWHL champs, the Minnesota Frost. Unfortunately, the first thing that does stand out is the big ol' ad patch. Now, contrary to the majority of hockey fans, I don't really mind the advertising patches that much. I think it comes from the fact that I'm from Latin America, where I watched a lot of soccer, a lot of European soccer, where there's just advertisements everywhere. And I'm not saying that's necessarily good, but I always thought that was a part of the jersey, so I didn't think much of it. It is a little unsettling how much it's creeped into the hockey world, and particularly here, I don't think it looks that good. At least it kind of matches with the white, but we'll leave it at that. We'll talk about the jersey next, which is the most important part of all. So we have the Minnesota Frost logo in the middle. As you might have seen in my last video, this one did rank a little in the lower tier among the other PWHL logos. I do hope that they show some depth with this because they made a big deal about it during the announcement. Now we have these white shoulders here, which I'll be honest with you, I don't really love having that. It reminds me of the Flyers jerseys that they have right now, and it just makes it a little confusing sometimes when watching the sport because you kind of get lost on who's the home team and the away team. Thankfully, these don't run all the way down the sleeve, it's just kind of in the shoulders, so that's good. Down here at the bottom, we have 2 white stripes as well as a thicker purple one of a different shade. And it seems we have alternating purple, white, purple striping on the sleeves. But yeah, I think overall this one uses the colors from the logo pretty well across the jersey. I'm still not a big fan of the shoulders being white, just in general. Maybe I'd give the edge to Boston here, but overall, an okay jersey, and yeah, ad patches, what are you gonna do? Ooh, okay, so we got some funkiness happening here with Montreal. I want to get to the logo, of course, and all that stuff, but the first thing that just catches my eye is down here we have a black and a bright light blue and then the sort of cream colored striping at the end. I thought the Boston teal was a little jarring. This one is wild because I haven't seen anything from the Montreal Victoire branding that sort of matches with this, so it's interesting. I'm curious to see why this sort of happened, if there is an explanation. So unlike the other two, we don't have a different colored collar. Oof, try saying that 3 times in a row. But we do have these sort of black shoulders. I always like the color scheme for Montreal with the cream, the maroon, and the black. It blends in nicely. We have an ad patch, which I think we already knew the Canadian teams were going to be sponsored. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of last year when they had the patches on the shoulders. But yeah, we got another one here. It is what it is. Now, I did want to talk about this logo for a second because when I saw the teasers last night, I noticed that this one looked a little strange to me. So if you go back to look at the teasers, you'll see that there's a lot of stitching in the logos that add depth to them, which I really like. This isn't a perfect example, but if you look at this Fanatics jersey, right, you can see that the gloves for this Penguins logo kind of come out a little bit because of the extra stitching. It might be hard to see, but believe me, it's there. Same with the skates, if you can see that. I don't know, it's a nice little ad for especially a cheap jersey, but what I noticed for the Victoire logo was that it looked more, I don't know if the word, it's not screen printed, but it's this, what the rest of like this Fanatics logo looks like, where it's just completely shiny and flat, like there is no depth to it. Like here, if you go from the penguin head down to the belly, it's just completely flat, there's no depth to it. And that's what I noticed with the Montreal logo, which kind of got me worried because it is one of the more intricate logos, so I can see why it's just better to simplify it. But I don't know, I saw depth in the Frost one, I saw depth in the Boston Fleet one, so it is a little disappointing if that is the case for Montreal. But yeah, again, it's a great logo and a good color scheme. I'm confused about this little stripe here at the bottom, and I hope that the logo has some depth to it and isn't just entirely flat. But yeah, overall, this one kind of ranks in the middle, maybe lower than the previous two, honestly, in terms of just the jersey look overall. But yeah, let's move on to the next one, which should be the New York Sirens. Now, the Sirens had an interesting color scheme when they came out. It tied nicely with the other pro women's sports teams in New York, so it was a nice tie-in to just bring it all together. This somehow seems a little less light of a teal than the ones that they had in their previous jerseys last year. And it seems they have added orange to their color scheme after adding it to their logo. If you get a chance to look at the logo, again, I keep talking about this depth thing with the stitching. It looks so nice in the up-close teaser photos that they released. That's one of the things that I really liked about this. I wasn't crazy about the logo when it first came out, but that extra level of detail makes this just a heightened jersey for me. It's also nice that they had fun with it. I think it's one of the weirder logos out of the bunch, but it's fun, and I like that. Now, something that I am noticing just now that is very interesting is here on the sleeves, the striping doesn't go all the way around. That's interesting. I don't know if I like that position, just because it looks incomplete. So that's the only concern with me for this jersey. I do like the orange piping along the numbers that I can see here. And also, hey, we don't have an ad patch for this one, so very, very nice for New York. I genuinely like this one. It's probably the kookiest one out of the bunch. Wish maybe the striping in the sleeves had gone all the way around, but yeah, overall, pretty decent jersey. Second to last, we have the Ottawa Charge, and I don't know what else to say about this logo, you guys. This is probably the worst logo out of the bunch. You know, again, it just looks like a mixture of the Cleveland Cavaliers C and the Calgary Flames C. Moving forward to the rest of the jersey, I see we do have a sponsor patch, but this one doesn't have any wording in it, so it kind of blends in a little bit nicer. Now down at the bottom we have some striping, which, does anyone else see a roadway? Or is it just me? Like, I see the sidewalks and then the streets, and then you have the yellow line down the middle. It looks like a road. The same pattern is happening in the sleeves, and I don't know if maybe a pure white would have been better here as it goes with the logo instead of this gray. Yeah. I don't know, this one kind of has me confused. Like, it's okay, but I think I'm gonna have to rank this one at the very bottom. It's already the bottom logo, and then the roadway striping at the bottom and the sleeves just doesn't do it for me. So yeah, I'm sorry, Ottawa Charge, we're gonna have to rank you last. Oh, well, they might be the last reaction. They are definitely not last for me. It is my team, the Toronto Sceptres, and yeah, I kind of love this jersey. You have the logo down in the center, which for someone who wears jerseys, I'm never a fan of the super vertical logos. Think of something like the Seattle Kraken, because when I'm filming my videos and I'm sitting down, it always seems like the very vertical logos just kind of scrunch up a little, and I don't like that, because I'm sitting down and wearing my jerseys most of the time. So that's one of the only concerns with this. But that's more of a logo concern, which, it is nice. It's grown on me a lot since the first time I saw it. I like the double set of stripes here. We can see that there's, dark, then gold, then dark, then a little bit of the jersey blue, and then it goes back to dark, gold, dark. So that's kind of nice. I like it. And we also have golden numbers, which to me it's kind of neat because I think I always see the white numbers with the piping around it for the whatever color that team wears. So having a different color number is pretty cool. Now the piping at the bottom feels kind of weird. I don't know if it's because it's a goalie jersey, so the proportions are just a little bit off. But yeah, it looks a little too thin of a stripe here at the bottom. I don't know if this is part of the jersey, if this dark part also extends from the jersey, or if it ends at the blue. It has to be the dark part, yeah? It's just kind of hard to see right now with the goalie setup. But yeah, honestly, y'all, maybe I'm just being a homer, but this is probably my favorite one of the bunch. Real quick, we're gonna zoom past all the away jerseys because those also got released and I wanted to take a look at them. We have the New York Sirens. I think they did pretty nicely with this one. Do I see some striping here, kind of like the Ducks jersey, where it's like the sort of V pattern? I don't know. I think I do, and that's an interesting choice. Again, I don't love that the piping doesn't go all the way around the sleeves. I wonder now if it goes all the way around for the jersey. That would be a travesty, to be honest with you. If this doesn't go all the way around, that would take this one several notches down for me. Next we have the Ottawa Charge, which I think I like this one more than the home jersey because it's got the nice red on the shoulders instead of the black. Also, I'm just realizing, I think this is the main logo, and for the home jersey, I think they inverted the colors, kind of like what the Calgary Flames do. So maybe because the Flames do that, it's not that strange, but it's still weird to me slightly that the away jersey gets the original logo and then the home jersey is the one that gets the other. I don't know. It is what it is. We got the roadway right here. It doesn't look as jarring in this one for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, this one's an improvement on the home jersey in my opinion. Oh no, remember how I've been talking about the New York jersey and how the piping doesn't go all the way around in the sleeves? So right here we can see that at least in the away version of the Toronto jerseys, that's also the case with the sleeve piping. Just go all the way around, finish it. I don't know how this design makes it better personally. I don't know, it doesn't look good to me. And the other thing that really sucks is that the ad patch is a bright red that really clashes with the rest of the color scheme for this jersey, and that's just really unfortunate. Okay, now we have Montreal's away jersey, which is not white, it's a sort of cream color, which I really like this one. It's not a traditional away jersey by any means, but I do like that it's different. It's not completely white. It still matches with their overall color scheme, so that's a plus. I think because maroon is not the overall color of the jersey, the little sky blue stripe doesn't clash nearly as bad as in the home jersey. Oh, and I'm just starting to notice the numbers have that light blue piping all around it, so that's interesting. I don't know if I would have put it in the numbers, but yeah, it's interesting. Okay, yeah. Second to last, we have the Minnesota Frost, who unfortunately take a huge step down for me from the home jersey. The white just makes it feel even more empty for a logo that's so thin and small. And we have, I think, the biggest patch in gold lettering, which just, it stands out even more for all the wrong reasons. But unfortunately, I am starting to notice a pattern where it seems like all these jerseys might have the piping stop in the front and not go all the way around the back. Yeah, and that pretty much confirms it, but Boston's away. I like this one a lot. I think with the white, it makes the piping stand out a little bit better, which allows this really bright teal to mix a lot nicer with the jersey, in my opinion. Overall, I like the Boston away one. Now, each team has kind of released their own videos and stuff talking about the details of the jersey. I'm going to look at that off camera just because I just wanted to give my initial reactions to the jerseys that I've been waiting so long to look at. But yeah, if I had to give some final opinions for the homes, I love Toronto. I think Boston did pretty well. I also was kind of surprised at how much I ended up liking the New York one. Then we have, let's see, I think Ottawa kind of sits at the bottom for me. And then in the middle are Minnesota and Montreal, with maybe giving a slight edge to Minnesota on this one, which I'm kind of surprised because of how much I really like the color scheme and the logo for Montreal. For the away jerseys, I think Montreal might take it, but New York and Boston are also pretty solid. I was not a huge fan of Toronto, especially with the ad patch that really clashes with the rest of the color scheme. I am going to put it above Ottawa and Minnesota because I just realized that the piping is just a general problem with all the jerseys. Actually, no, I might put Ottawa a little bit above Toronto just because I do think it was an improvement from the home jersey, but I still, the logo is just not that great. And unfortunately, last place, I have to put Minnesota because the white just makes it feel so empty when the logo is that thin and that small. But yeah, I'll just leave you with this post. It seems that the replica jerseys are going to be available for pre-order starting at $150 US and 200 Canadian. So 150, it's a little less than what a Fanatics jersey with like a player's name would cost at the NHL shop. Overall, I think I like the home jerseys a little bit more, but that's just kind of the norm since the away jerseys tend to be just white with inverse colors. And yeah, I'll leave the links to the posts I reacted to down in the description so you can check them out for yourselves. Let me know down in the comments which one's your favorite, which team are you repping this coming season, which I believe should be starting in less than a month. But yeah, that's all I have for you today, and remember, kindness is free to give, so go out and spread some today.